Ladies and gentlemen, this is Slam Masters Entertainment System, where we watch the best in pro wrestling. And today, I have with me, he's an American-born Australian. We got with me Teague. How you doing, Teague?
Good, yeah.
I'm good, man. And we're like talking for a bit, and one of the matches that it's one of my favorite WrestleMania matches. Because I know like you were a fan later in life, but one of my favorite WrestleMania matches is WrestleMania 19, live from Seattle, Safeco Field, Chris Jericho versus Shawn Michaels. It was a big dream match. This is, not even 1 year into Shawn Michaels' return. He came back in the summer of 2002, better than he was, my opinion. And this was a big dream match back then because people wanted to see these two because Chris Jericho was sort of like the modern day Shawn Michaels. They did the whole feud where they showed Chris Jericho sort of copying like his poses, copying the flying forearm. And he would call him the heartbroken joke, which I think is funny because Jericho's always good for that. He's always good for a good like barb or making a pun on a name. And Shawn Michaels to me is one of my favorite. I know a lot of people don't like Shawn Michaels. I like Shawn Michaels. He's one of my favorite wrestlers. He's able to bring dramatics. He's able to like bring the athleticism, and he's just he's great in ring. And Jericho is also he's really great for his character. He's great at like and maximizing his time, maximizing himself because he's not the biggest. They're both not the biggest guys, but they are two of the biggest personalities in wrestling. So I don't know if you ever watched this match, Teague, but I'm ready to go with you, man, because this is like seriously one of my favorite matches.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing I will say to Jericho's credit, it, he may not always land when he tries a new catchphrase or a nickname or something, but he will keep throwing things out there until something does.
Yeah, man. That's the whole thing about when you're rolling with doing the improv and all that. Because a lot of wrestling is improv. Is sometimes you're not gonna hit 100% of the time, right? But when you do hit, it's one of the best feelings you can have. And yeah, man, this is honestly, probably the peak of my fandom. I know it's weird for people to say that, but like this is 2003. I'm about to graduate high school, so like, this is my last time watching pro wrestling with my kid eyes. Okay.
Yeah,
Not that I
absolutely.
thought wrestling was real, but I was still like a kid. I'm still in high school. I'm still living with my parents. I have no responsibilities. This, imagine that. Remember that, man, when you just didn't have anything. Like you just didn't have anything to like you didn't have to be in charge of people. You didn't have to like care for a family. You didn't have to pay your rent or your mortgage. You just had to like just be.
Yeah,
That
absolutely.
I miss that, man.
Yeah, I think everyone does. That's part of what breaks so many people's brains. That's really what nostalgia mostly is, just wanting to go back to the lack of responsibility.
Yeah, man. And I am just here, obviously. Uh, when I talk about these two guys, okay? Because I like setting the mood. So Jericho is one of the best of all time now. I mean nowadays he sort of look like as past his prime because he is honestly he's past his prime. In 2026, Chris Jericho is not the Chris Jericho of 2019. He's not the Chris Jericho of 2010. He's not the Chris Jericho of what we have here in 2003. But what he is one of the guys who's able to shift and change and be malleable and somebody who you know, he's someone that sits under the learning tree, and he's honestly just some guy that is everything you sort of want in a pro wrestler, as far as like the attitude, the work, the promo, the charisma. And I'd say the same about Shawn Michaels here, because Shawn Michaels was great back then, and I'm happy to share this with you, man. And you know, if people want to go ahead and time this, we are about to go to the show because I'm addicted to cracking skulls and causing static. And if you want to start with us, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a countdown. Chris Jericho, Shawn Michaels, Safeco Field, WrestleMania 19. Let's go. Five, four, three, two, one. I always like the Jericho entrance with the countdown. Look at that. We have Y2J Chris Jericho.
Introducing first, from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, weighing 227 pounds, Chris Jericho.
Jericho was a big heel at the time.
For Chris Jericho. He was the first undisputed champion. A kid that was actually born in New York City. His
Manhasset, New
father was
York.
playing for the New York Rangers. But he grew up his whole life as a wrestling fan. And the one wrestler in Jericho's life that he emulated from day one is his opponent here tonight.
One thing that strikes me
And it's
already is
huge, you're right.
how much
And
cleaner the production.
do you know anything about these film cameras that are here tonight shooting
It's
just
great,
like in
right?
the
The
movie?
production they had in
Like
2003.
in the movie.
There's no like shaky cam, there's no weird cuts or zoom ins. It's just,
Mm.
it's filmed like a movie.
Like now,
But he's already
like
a
yeah,
rock
the
star
audiences now
here
love
in
the
this
entrances, but that means that they'll
If you
do
want to
an
see it all,
entrance and
you
they'll
need a car
cut
that can
to
go
the
the distance.
audience
The
or
Subaru Forester Hybrid.
a big sort of
Uh-huh.
an ARG type. Yeah, just so much going on screen rather than just letting the wrestler soak it in and sort of play to both the at home and live
Flights,
audience.
cars, hotels, even a
Yeah. Yes, people, I do not have premium YouTube. So
No, no, can't do that.
I know I'm sexy. I got the looks that drives the girls wild. You know, as a kid, I was confused about what Shawn Michaels' character was because my mom would always call him the Chippendales guy. Uh, and then later on, I figured out my mom was calling him a male stripper because he'd do these gyrating and he'd take off his like clothes and stuff, right? I make him shiver. We got the confetti gun, and I believe there we go. This is fun, you know, and I think he's gonna have issues here. You know, he reached a certain age, but when you reach a certain age, sometimes what you need to work doesn't work. Hands off the merchandise. I love Shawn Michaels, man, and you're about to see why. Oh, Jericho flipped off Shawn Michaels. 2003 feels like a lifetime away, man. And you know, it's that was 23 years ago.
Yeah,
Shawn Michaels' wonderful career.
good enough.
He was the first ever Grand Slam champion.
I'm just a
He was
sexy
the
boy.
first man to win every
I'm
championship
not your boy.
WWE had to offer. What a
I always
story.
like that Kelomania sign.
And
You
Mr.
know,
Dictator
if
made
you like
history.
gorillas, you know what it
It
is.
looked like it had ended Shawn Michaels' career right
There you go,
there.
Shawn Michaels pose and pyro.
Years ago.
You know, when you watch this and you watch like modern day wrestling, you kind of see like where AEW tries to take most of its from, and you know, I think that's smart.
Think about Shawn Michaels
You
over
film it
here.
like this era where you know the production was immaculate. It just makes more sense, you know.
Wow.
Ah, see it?
But somehow Shawn Michaels becomes a different, he becomes a different man at WrestleMania.
That's right. Shawn Michaels becomes a different man at WrestleMania. They call him Mr. WrestleMania.
See, Michaels doesn't take himself too seriously,
Yeah,
but the production still treats him seriously.
yeah. They film him to make him look like the
They
biggest
don't try
star in the
and
world.
play it up with the camera or
Yeah.
Chris Jericho feels he's more charismatic than Shawn Michaels. He feels that his skills are
Look at
just
that
as good
crowd,
as
man.
Shawn Michaels, but
WWE wish they could have that crowd still.
people roaring and standing on their feet for Shawn Michaels is going to make you have second thoughts.
yeah, they
Michaels
might still if
was
they
now Hall of Famer.
didn't keep up on the
Doing
prices.
his thing.
Oh yeah.
Every time I hear about what like just get in tickets cost, I'm like,
It is big
who is
time.
that for?
Grandest stadium
Yeah, man. Five,
concerts are made
10,000 just to sit in like the concourse. That's crazy.
where memories last forever. And that's
That's like a
exactly what
car,
this
man.
particular match is all about. Now,
Collar and elbow.
to that
No
man
one
right
gets the
there,
advantage
he
there.
wants a career ending.
Jericho
He
talking
wants
all
to
this
end
mess.
Shawn Michaels' career on the biggest stage of them all, right here at WrestleMania.
Jericho at the time is about
Nice takedown.
32 years old, 33 years
Didn't
old.
come in that quickly.
Shawn Michaels is 38.
Yes. Wow.
Jericho's
Almost
chest
as if
isn't completely caved in
Jericho
yet.
is obsessed with Shawn
It's funny
Michaels.
because Shawn Michaels at 38 was called like an old man.
Shades of Ricky the Dragon Steamboat
Yeah.
with those deep, crisp arm drag takedowns.
Yes, I love this.
I think that
Yeah.
HBK just taking time out during a
Chris
match.
Jericho that he's floored with Jericho's almost like wrestling 101 tactics there. I think it's all about strategy and all about head games. Michael is a veteran. What's the strategy to starting out a match with a headlock and a takeover and an arm drag? What's wrong with it?
Starting off with some technical wrestling. Shawn Michaels with a headlock, switching to a hammerlock.
Why wouldn't you start a wrestling match off
Jericho
with
reverses to the
something you've done
hammerlock.
so long?
We're gonna see a big elbow here, probably.
Oh,
Bam!
Michaels
Right there,
found it.
right to the jaw. Short elbows to the jaw.
Michaels found it. There you go.
Nice hip toss. Jericho with the reverse, and he's gonna hit him with a
Jumping leg
leg
takedown by
trip.
Jericho.
Jericho gets an up kick out,
Again,
and we're at a stalemate.
Michaels looks in great shape. Michaels, the veteran.
It's great seeing Jericho move this fast, right,
Wait a
man?
minute. Go ahead. How does Jericho look?
Oh, of course it
He
is.
looks great as always.
It's
We saw some people out here with ass clown sound. Ass clown
such a
signs.
simple
Why can't
story,
you
but
say
you can
that about
already
Chris
tell
Jericho? He
the
was
story
dead
going
to
in
rights.
is
Yeah.
Michaels
Chris Jericho an ass
is
clown?
just the cool,
Side
just
headlock rolled into the
that
pinning combination by
he's going to take his
Jericho.
time. He's not
Left
going to
side headlock.
sort of rush it. And then
Not taking any
Jericho
chances
coming
at least
in,
hearing
and
the
he's
curry
already
going and
just trying
handling
to work
well as
quicker,
he
trying to push the pace
at least the other half
Yeah.
to
match of the year
get
with the
Michaels
WWE
off
from
balance.
93 to 97.
Ooh, big shoulder check right there.
The young man who calls
I
Michaels
always
his
love when
father.
Jericho was wrestling. He would always talk some mess, you know.
Yeah, of course.
And like the thing about Jericho is he's one of those guys that could take that could just take like 1 second in the match to like yell at the crowd or whatever, and it just come off as Awesome.
Yeah.
Jericho tossed out like the morning trash.
Jericho, I've said it before, but that was the first time I actually saw it. He slapped the taste
Big.
out of
Oh,
Shawn Michaels.
I think he's gonna
This
do
one
a.
for you.
He's just playing with him.
Slide
Tope?
foot. Wait a
Yep.
minute.
Nope. Baseball slide.
To the baseball slide.
Baseball slide. I always like.
Is off the ball, so to speak. Listen,
It's
Jericho
always
now
good.
between Michael Cole and Taz.
Shawn Michaels about to go off the top. He's used to the high rent district.
They love those guys. Look out. Cross body on
Oh,
the rope.
Jericho reverses the high flying cross body
Situation where Jericho used Michael's own momentum
and just punches him in the
to
mouth.
pin
You
him
know,
down.
sometimes it's just a simple
And
punch in the
again
mouth
with
is
a
good
soft
enough.
right hand.
Spinning wheel kick, beautiful.
Kick by Chris Jericho.
Jericho getting height on that.
Both these guys, JR, with so much to prove in this match. I mean, after all that's been said, after all that's gone down between these two guys, I mean, Jericho promising everyone that he's going to end Shawn Michaels' career here tonight at WrestleMania. He's got a big mountain to climb there. Last time Shawn Michaels was in a main event environment at WrestleMania was 1998. He went as
Ooh,
the champion.
those are some thick chops.
Soon thereafter, had his back surgery.
Oh.
There's a hard Irish whip. And you got to believe that somewhere down the road in this match that
If you're wondering where
Most
Matt
guys.
Jackson got his back selling from, it's from Shawn
attempt to
Michaels.
exploit that lower back, if
Oh, of
possible,
course.
of Shawn Michaels.
Not enough guys do what Jericho did and drop to the ground from that Irish whip into the
Yeah.
corner.
These Irish whips
Flying oh
and that
Just like
into the corner.
throwing yourself in it
I don't know how you
to
land there
that
where it doesn't
degree.
hurt.
Yeah, it's awesome, man.
It's one of those things where the old saying,
Oh, Shawn Michaels, is he gonna go for the
sometimes
sharpshooter? So
overcome
figure
fear
four leg
with
lock.
ability. Figure four leg
Shades
lock.
of Shawn Michaels, mentor Ric
Shawn
Flair.
Michaels using a patented Nature Boy Ric Flair figure four leg lock.
Yeah.
And Jericho trying to roll it over, reverse the pressure, does.
Also, man,
Jericho now put him down
if
for
you
a
ever
count.
wanted to hear what Jim Ross sounded like
Broken
when he was
position.
cogent
For
and
his legs to
coherent,
get him more of a
this
beating.
is a pretty good match to hear. Shawn Michaels working the
Michaels
leg,
right back to work on the
trying to slow down
shoulder
Chris
pad
Jericho.
of Chris
Oh,
Jericho. And
sent right into the
boom!
turnbuckle.
Shoulder first to the ring post.
I do like the strategies you're
Michaels
seeing
trying to
here.
catch himself.
Jericho using his athleticism to try to overwhelm Shawn Michaels, and Shawn Michaels trying to slow it down and take away the
Shawn
momentum that Jericho gets.
both of these guys, it's still early in this
And
match.
you can
Both of these
see
So
guys
duck
from
over.
the first
still
moments
almost in the
to
feeling out process.
how each
Go.
man can
These
be
guys
from that.
still trying to.
Jericho
Skinning the
One hand
cat.
to press the other. Wait a minute.
There you go.
Applying the head scissors.
He's gonna do a
Jericho
plancha.
another one
Boom.
with the plancha, the big crossbody over the top. Now we're starting to see that vintage Shawn Michaels surfacing here.
The man of La Plancha, Shawn
One of the
Michaels.
great high risk takers in the history of the
That
game.
one's for you, Chicky.
And a Hall of Fame
Uh,
man by
I liked how they set up the ring here. It's sort of the ramp is at a diagonal.
don't
It's like a
interrupt.
ziggy zaggy ramp,
Michaels going to the
and
top
so
rope.
like you don't like get like the
Jericho
usual setup. Walls of Jericho.
that
on the walls on the
still
You
for a
know,
outside.
big show. I think that's one of the things that is good.
These men may be taking
yeah,
off here tonight.
Teague. When you do a submission on the outside, that makes it way more damaging.
Unfortunately, and Jericho back in
Oh,
the
of course.
ring breaks the count. But
Charles
boy,
Robinson, one of my
The
favorite
only thing
referees of
worse
all
would
time.
be
to that lower back of Shawn Michaels, the walls
the
of
only thing more
Jericho
damaging than the
applied
outside of the ring is
outside. Well,
the
Shawn
ring
Michaels
apron.
brought this on himself.
Yes, sir.
When
The
you
hardest
get
part of the ring.
someone out on the floor,
Shawn Michaels is gonna get rammed back first into the ring post.
Michaels now, that back like a target, and Jericho
And another.
not missing a trick.
Just
Just being dumped like
Into the
a
walls of
sack of you
Jericho,
know what.
followed by two shots to the ring post, and this huge
That's
man
right. When I do
showing
commentary, I
no
try to
signs
be,
of
clean with it.
Jericho's tactics nor his attitude. Boy, but you know what this is almost like, JR? When you watch the Discovery Channel sometimes and you see the Pride of Lions, and they've had the old They've had the old Lion as the leader of the Pride for so many years, and then along comes that new young Lion, and he's going to finally test that. Whoa, he's going to test
Boom, big drop
this
kick.
is Lion.
Going shopping. Yeah.
Yeah. And when we're talking about the old Lion and the young Lion, we're talking about Discovery Channel style thing. They use that same line for Hogan and Rock. It's for a lot of WrestleManias, they were doing this dream matches where the young guy would take on the older veteran, and that would usually be the narrative.
Indeed, carrying over
Yeah, being lost in the jungle.
circle here tonight, and now Shawn Michaels finds himself in a real gut check situation.
Jericho just working over that bad back because Shawn Michaels was out for 4 years after breaking his back.
Be able to hold up on this offensive onslaught. Wow. I'm better than you.
That's a familiar line, isn't it, Teague?
I don't know if he's trying to convince Michaels or himself.
Certainly is.
Oh no, believe me, Jericho
There you
believes
go. Vertical suplex, beautiful.
suplex again, all that impact on that lower back of Shawn Michaels. You've been around Jericho going for the cover, and Michaels kicks out, but just
I love
barely.
how in this match they made the vertical suplex look like one of the worst torturous moves.
This guy goes to Lover's Lane Park
Sh-
by himself.
Jericho just fighting so dirty, going to the hair.
But he's better than Shawn Michaels. Very egomaniacal indeed. I would agree with that.
I think that was the first
And Shawn
pinfall.
Michaels again.
Yeah.
Look at furious position into the backbreaker.
Canadians love their backbreakers. Chris Jericho, of course, he learned his trade in the Hard Dungeon. Come on, baby.
Well, that was just doing a little bit of mocking, a little bit of Shawn Michaels showboating.
See, look, when people talk about a rest hold, right? But look, Jericho isn't resting. He's trying to hurt Shawn Michaels with that. He's working on his back. He's trying to get a choke in. A lot of times nowadays, you just see guys put in a hold and they just have like a conversation covering their mouths, and it's so obvious.
Yeah.
But look, Jericho's working this
They're
headlock.
not.
Yeah. Ask it.
He is a man that takes every day and counts his blessings. But boy, does Chris Jericho have
Right to the gut.
to further establish his legacy. Michaels trying to fight back. Shawn Michaels.
Body punches in pro wrestling are underutilized.
Well, for so many years, Shawn Michaels.
And DDT. Wow.
Black effect that slam was. For so many years, Shawn Michaels was the role model of that young man right there. He was Chris Jericho's role model.
Yeah. When Chris Jericho was a rookie, he dressed like Shawn Michaels at the time.
Well, he wants to be Chris Jericho, no longer in the shadow of Shawn Michaels. So what you have here is a match as referee Charles Robinson again using that 10 count, where it's not about being a number one contender or a champion. It's a very personal situation. It has been personal since last December with these two. And a right hand by
Now they're gonna trade fists. I like that they're trading fists instead of like doing bouillabaisse. They're actually hitting each other.
I saw some blood on the face of Shawn Michaels. Oh, look at that.
Ooh, flying forearm. Is he gonna copy Shawn Michaels with the nip up? And he's gonna do the pose. Of course. Just mocking Shawn Michaels.
This is Shawn Michaels, and that's the original.
Oh.
Michaels firing back. Was it real or was it
Shawn Michaels is gonna hit his own flying burrito.
the showstopper? Not again. And Michaels up again. Inverted atomic drop. And the showstopper is building
Wow.
some momentum here. Michaels sending Jericho for the ride. High elevation again. Another back body drop. And Shawn Michaels, no matter
I love
how
this
his
stuff,
back
man.
may feel, he is beating up
You know,
this huge
I
crowd.
get a lot of flack for this, but I definitely see a lot of Hangman Page, Shawn Michaels and Hangman Page, just like from the energy and like the charisma and the moveset. He just reminds me of Shawn Michaels in like the good way. Big moonsault.
Yeah, he definitely takes some stuff from
That was a
yeah,
long
Mark.
time. 2 count.
was high flying stuff.
Jericho is in big trouble now. Big trouble. Shawn Michaels
Funny
has
how
got to
some
make a
things never
mistake, but
change
Jericho's
up
got to hit
wrestlers
something big.
refusing
Mm.
to lose their.
Hey, no Jericho.
Yeah.
Good move by Jericho. Michaels counters back. Jericho counters.
Oh, Walls of Jericho.
Oh, look out. Look out here. Oh, boy. Going for the walls of Jericho. This could do. Look out. Oh, look at the
Oh,
leg sweep.
reversal.
Michaels using what leg and lower back strength that he had perhaps in reserve to counter the walls of Jericho. Nice standing.
What I like about it is how simple like the moves are, how simple they're going, and like you could they make like even like the most mundane moves seem like like they matter, like they're working towards a something on it. Big
Suplex
Northern Light
kick.
suplex.
Another near fall. Jericho trying to put all that weight for another. Look at this. Look at the strength of Michaels.
I always love this stuff. The backslide, the battle for the black slide. Sorry, backslide.
Backslide. Neither could. Another
Big
one by
lariat.
Jericho. Both men feeling it in this very intense, very athletic one-on-one matchup. I can't help but think that Jericho may be feeling a little bit frustrated. I think he's shot just about everything he has with Shawn Michaels so far, and he hasn't got the job done. No!
Oh, we're about to see a lion salt, ladies and gentlemen.
That may do it. Jericho, here it comes.
And there it is. Lion salt.
Jericho
And
hits
he's
the
too hurt to
lion
make the
salt.
pin.
He hit it a little low in his own abdomen, having trouble making the cover. Hooks the far leg, and
That's how you do a close count.
with a long
That's how you do a
count.
kick out.
Jericho hooks up, and Michaels again refuses to stay down. This is I don't know. This is not good for Jericho's ego. Look at there's the frustration.
Jericho having a tantrum in the middle of the match.
Shawn Michaels kicking out of the lion salt. Jericho can't believe it. King, we can only imagine. We can only
Big
guess
chop.
how badly Shawn Michaels' back must be feeling right now. Jericho, well, that's a tactical error there. Fatigue must be setting in. And
Walls of Jericho. That was awesome. Okay, that was really cool. The Walls of Jericho counter to the Hurricane Rana. Just
by Y2J. It looked like Michaels was going for a Hurricane Rana. It was countered into the walls. An excruciatingly painful.
Shawn Michaels fighting his way to the ropes, but Jericho's sitting all the way back, and that's what you want to do in these submissions. You want to sit back and pull back. There's actually an MMA fight that ended with the Walls of Jericho, with the Boston Crab. So, if anybody was wondering, I used to put my little brother in a Boston Crab in in the Lion Tamer, and he hated it. So almost on that small package.
Michaels perhaps out of desperation, able to execute an inside cradle. Some call it a small package. These two guys are so similar. They're so alike.
There we go, Tiger Bomb, Tiger Backbreaker.
Probably before the other does it. Double underhook into the backbreaker, and Michaels holding his back in ribs. And now Jericho. What's he gonna do here? The pressure of the two.
Shawn Michaels usually does an elbow drop off the top. I wonder what Chris Jericho's gonna attempt out over here. Flying Judas effect there. Oh, and now he's tuning up the band. Sweet chin music.
Jericho just almost took Michaels' head off with Michaels' own sweet chin music. What a way to lose this thing.
That was actually a pretty good super kick.
But wait a minute, that's worth one more look. Look at this, JR.
Jericho put all his ass into that. He didn't slap the leg. Pretty good sound too.
Sweet chin music is any better than that. Certainly more impact than we saw that Bernard Hopkins fight last night. A
Ooh.
hard shot that was. And Michaels, at least he's standing, but for how long? Don't ever compare a fight to WrestleMania, JR.
There we go. Move cross body. And Shawn Michaels just laying in with some right hands.
Right hands instinctively, getting right back in the face of Chris Jericho.
Well, it's like you said earlier,
Oh,
this is more than just a match. This is personal. I mean, Shawn Michaels could
oh.
have gone for a pin count there.
Shawn Michaels with his own Walls of Jericho attempt right here.
Wait a minute. Turnabout's fair play.
What is he gonna do? He's gonna do a catapult.
Michaels going, no, it's not.
Oh, onto the top turnbuckle. Schoolboy.
And Michaels with a roll up.
Oh,
And Jericho still kicks out. Jericho still kicks out.
I thought Jericho was out on his feet or out off his feet.
That had to be instincts. Nothing but
uh,
instinct. Oh, and a hard.
Jericho just hitting him right in the kidneys. Just
Back in the kidney area.
Now, finally, it's like all of a sudden the light went off over the head of Jericho.
yeah. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I've watched this match so many times, so me and JR hitting the same points is not confusing.
This doesn't look good for
Super back suplex by Jericho coming up.
They're both on the top. Both men on the
Shawn Michaels with the reverse. I love
Jericho
that.
for a suplex, but Michaels countered in midair to the cross body. This could be a turning point in this matchup.
Let's see that again. You're right.
There's a cover.
One,
There's a
two.
cover. Arm over.
I always like that counter to the back suplex because the other guy always looks like he gets crushed on it.
And that took a lot out of both of these guys.
The reason I say a turning point is
Wow. Shawn Michaels might be going for the patented elbow drop.
there's no way Michaels
Hey, Tig, do you know what Kazuchika Okada's favorite wrestling match is?
just kicked the referee into the ropes.
No, I don't think I do.
Admit that was a brilliant move.
Yeah, so Okada's favorite wrestling match that he watched in Ultimo Dragon's dojo in Mexico is this WrestleMania 19, Shawn Michaels versus Chris Jericho.
And the way Michaels landed,
If you're wondering why he does the elbow drop, it is Shawn Michaels.
Gotta admit, there was a day when Shawn Michaels would have done that exact same move. Look at that.
Jericho right on his face from the top rope.
Jericho again looking for a cross.
And we're about to see one of my favorite elbow drops.
I think Michaels is starting to feel it, JR. He's feeding off
Here we go.
fans at WrestleMania.
Love that elbow. And he's about to tune the band. He's tuning up the band.
Travel with Expedia, earn 1 key cash, use 1 key cash, repeat.
Expedia, the one place you go to go places.
Hey, man. So what do you think about the match so far, T?
I'd say, yeah, pretty good match, I'd say. It's interesting watching it and seeing how much just the structure of a lot of modern wrestling
Yeah.
is already there.
It's Shawn Michaels.
Yes, sir.
Sweet
Sweet chin music. Reverse. Walls of Jericho. Oh, looks like Shawn Michaels tapped right there. Sometimes when the guy flails on the mat, it looks like a tap.
Michaels got to the ropes the first time. Let's do it again. Can HBK survive?
He's perfectly arched. Jericho has the Walls of Jericho. He has him dead to rights right there with the walls.
Drags him back to the center.
But look at the guts. Look at the heart of Shawn Michaels.
That's because this is WrestleMania. That's the only reason he's not tapping.
Mr. WrestleMania, you made the ropes.
And Michaels got that by the rope.
And Jericho can't believe it.
Jericho with the frustration on his face.
He's crying. Come on, Jericho. They both in the rope. He didn't tap. He tapped in the rope. He tapped out. Jericho is pleading with the referee to say that he tapped out. He didn't tap out, Jericho.
Yeah, he didn't tap out.
That was it. But it was
Sweet chin music.
Where did that come from?
good. God, Jericho ran right into that straight kick. The sweet chin music by Michaels caught Jericho walking right into it.
Both of these
There
guys
we
are
go.
down.
Is he gonna get the fin fall or is he taking too much time here?
Left in him.
1, 2. Jericho barely gets out.
Check out what put these two guys in that little predicament. Jericho walks right into the super kick.
You saw it and you heard the impact.
But Jericho still
I
able
love super
to
kicks,
kick
man.
out. And
They're
now
just a cool looking move.
Shawn just grasping at any part of Jericho he can get his hands on.
Yeah, especially if
Fatigue and
you
pain.
frame it right, so
Now
that
the
it's
rack of the bodies.
coming
Both
from
men
off
lose
camera.
athletes. This has
Yeah.
been one hell of a wrestling match here
It
at
was.
WrestleMania 19.
Oh,
Michaels has
Shawn
got him
Michaels
down.
takes a flip,
Unbelievable
takes a trip,
performance
and
tonight.
Jericho's gonna hit him right in the back again.
Getting on his feet, but Michaels is out.
Reversal by Shawn
Look
Michaels.
at this.
Victory roll. One, two, three. It's over. Jericho took too much time, wasn't prepared, and got caught in a roll up. Excellent ending to that match. In the game of one-upsmanship, Jericho got outplayed.
The old lion rises to the occasion.
There's a whole hell of a lot of fight left.
But yeah, man, I'm happy to have shared this match with you too. It's a match where you could see like
He
a
won
lot of guys sort of reference or a lot of guys sort of like
by his title.
go back and like you could see a lot of the building blocks of the modern day style from this match.
Yeah,
But it was not to be.
absolutely. The pace of it was
Now Jericho will
sort
let
of
you go. Let
the
me get
space of
one
the
of you
high
when you
spots.
lose, but there'll be another day, like you said, JR.
Wrestlers have stolen each other's moves forever, but it's really drawn attention to in this match.
Say Shawn
Yeah.
Michaels will never forget.
Jericho, tears in his eyes.
Wait,
What it is going on here? We're
Show
gonna
me
see a
the
handshake. We're gonna see some sportsmanship.
listen.
No.
Jericho giving him a hug. Beautiful stuff here.
I am
Sportsmanship, ladies and gentlemen.
proud to see that.
Oh, low blow by Chris Jericho.
Young Lions.
Low
Shawn
blow.
Michaels right below the belt.
And he spits on him,
Nice cheap shot.
telling the crowd they're
Talk
number
about
one.
being a sick, pathetic loser here at WrestleMania. After competing in a match, perhaps a match of Jericho's lifetime, and he ends it with a low blow.
Yeah, man. I the match is great, and then the post match where Shawn Michaels gets Rochambeau'd. I love it, man. Never trust the heel. Always be slimy, man. And you could see a lot of like modern
Classic
day,
pro wrestling.
yeah, man. Like you could definitely see the influence of Chris Jericho and like guys like MJF, and like it's I
Even in the
love pro
match, it's
wrestling,
like
man.
the Young Bucks took their entire personality from.
And that's a good thing, man. Because Shawn
It's a good
Michaels,
match to pull from.
yeah, there's so much there. There's a lot of athleticism. Like, a lot of people complain about pro wrestling nowadays, like especially in WWE, it was so slow. It's so like choreographed. It's so what's the word? It's so formulaic. But here, it's like they're moving, they're working. It's like it's not following a real formula because it's these guys are just wrestling and. A lot of times nowadays, a lot of modern pro wrestling is guys getting their stuff in and not really like letting things tell the story as it is, like not letting this match tell the story that you want to tell. It's always becomes like, oh, I'm gonna do my move, now you can do your move, now I'm gonna do my move. And in here, you just felt everything, and it worked towards that finish. And I'm not burying modern day wrestling because I like I've been saying, like guys like MJF, guys like Hangman, the Young Bucks. It's a lot of
Swerve.
what yeah, Swerve. A lot of what we see like is a lot of their influence. Kazuchika Okada, like you can definitely see where Okada got a lot of his tricks from. It's from these two guys from this match. You can see a lot of guys have referenced this as one of their favorite matches. And like if you ever watch like some Okada and Tanahashi matches, there are some shout outs to this match in their series. Uh, Particularly like the reversal spots or when it's just there's so much in this match just to chew on, and they left enough for a rematch because this was the first time match, but they left enough to like make you want to see them go at it again. and they've had
Yeah, absolutely.
more matches after. They've had different feuds after that get more and more serious, and it's one of my favorite rivalries of the 2000s, and it's two of my favorite wrestlers. I absolutely love Shawn Michaels. I absolutely love Chris Jericho. Jeff knows that I'm wearing a Jericho shirt right now, Jerichoholic. And yeah, man. So what's your takeaways from that match?
Oh, takeaways. Yeah, like it's a classic for a reason, I'd say, and yeah, you can definitely see, like, yeah, where that sort of time period, sort of just post WCW, inspired a lot of wrestlers, and yeah, it's yeah, a lot of the building blocks of the modern day scene. Kind of, you can see them all in that match, and fairly fully formed already,
Yeah,
which is interesting.
it's
Anyway,
really it's really interesting to go back to this, man. And I want to thank you, Jeff, for I know it's early there, so thank you for coming on the show, spending this time with me, man. I really appreciate
yeah,
that.
thanks for having me. It's been fun.
Yeah, man. I don't know if you have anything to promote, but I'm not sure if you do anything like that. Do you have anything that you want to promote?
Not really. If people want to follow me, Teeg on Blue Sky, or you can find me in the Social Suplex Discord. But other than that, I don't really put much out that you can, yeah, follow or anything.
Yeah,
But yeah,
follow Teague
no,
on.
thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Follow Teague on Blue Sky. It's a good follow. But yeah, man. It's an honor to have you here. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. And as always, see you next time.
We beat to rap what key beat to lock. We beat to rap what key beat to lock. But I'm cool. Take my word, take my word.